We all know that toolbox talk are one of the most important part of health and safety in the workplace. It's our opportunity to remind everyone of key risks, share lessons, and keep safety fresh in our minds. Because of that, delivering toolbox talk effectively is something that is really important. But at the same time, have you ever felt like people aren't really listening? Maybe they are distracted, thinking about the day's work ahead. Maybe they are tired, or maybe they have simply heard the same topic too many times before. That's completely normal. It happens to all of us. Toolbox talk can be done for many reasons: to remind the team of a critical rule, to share an incident that happened, or to correct something that you have observed on site. And of course, we always hope for an outcome, maybe to raise awareness, reinforce good practices, or change an unsafe behavior. But the truth is, none of that happens unless people give you their full attention. And to gain that attention, your delivery matters more than your topic. I learned this from my own experience. When I gave my very first toolbox talk, my heart was racing. I was so nervous. I thought I might faint in front of my team. I spent an entire week preparing, picking the topic carefully, planning what to talk, and practicing it again and again. But over time, I learned these techniques, which dramatically improved my toolbox talk delivery and effectiveness. Today, I don't need to spend days preparing. If there is a scheduled toolbox talk, I can simply look around the site, spot a hazard, or recall an incident, and within minutes, I am ready. It comes naturally and confidently. That's why I'm sharing these techniques with you. If they transformed my delivery and effectiveness, I'm confident they can do the same for you. Before we jump into the 8 techniques, let's pause for a moment and talk about one important word: engagement. If the employees in front of you are not engaged, your message won't stick, no matter how good it is. So, what does engagement mean in a toolbox talk? It means your workers are not just listening silently, they are mentally and emotionally involved. They are making eye contact, nodding, responding to your questions, and sometimes even sharing their own experiences. In simple terms, engagement is the difference between talking at people and talking with people. Why does it matter? Because when workers are engaged, they don't just hear the message, they remember it and act on it when it really counts. Stories connect emotionally. Instead of opening with "today's topic is hand protection," try something like this. Last week on a nearby project, a worker lost 2 fingers because he thought he could quickly change the grinder blade without gloves. He thought it would take 30 seconds only. Now he will not be able to hold his child's hand the same way again. Or a question: has anyone here ever slipped while using a ladder? Hands go up, and suddenly you have their attention. There is another powerful way to start your toolbox talk, a special technique that I will share with you as a bonus tip at the end of this video. Stay with me till then, because that one tip changed the way I deliver every talk. Keep it short and simple. A toolbox talk has to be like an espresso shot: short, strong, and effective. Why? Because people's attention spans are limited. A short, sharp talk with one clear message is far more memorable than a long lecture full of details that people forget 5 minutes later. Rule of thumb is keep it 5 to 10 minutes maximum. One main point per talk. For example, instead of covering all PPEs, pick one, say eye protection, and explain why it matters today. Mistakes to avoid is trying to cover everything at once. When you try to teach everything at once, people remember nothing. Words alone fade fast, but visuals stick. Imagine you are explaining about the importance of safety helmet. You can either talk about it, or you can hold up a cracked helmet that saved someone's skull. Which one do you think they will remember? The same goes to burned gloves that prevented a hand injury. The point here is props and visuals make your message real and emotional. They connect with what you are saying to actual experiences on site. So create a small toolbox talk kit, a few old PP items, some incident photos, a couple of sample tools, so that anytime you can bring your message to life. People learn best when they participate, not when they just listen. Instead of demonstrating how to lift a box correctly, ask someone from the team to show how they would do it safely. Instead of telling them what's wrong in an image, ask them to spot the hazard. When employees are involved, they think, respond, and share their own views. And when they hear answers from their peers, that impact is often stronger than when it comes from safety officer. Which means participation creates ownership and ownership creates safer behavior. Relevance is everything. If workers don't see how the topic relates to what they are doing today, their mind drifts away. For example, if today's topic is ladder safety, don't just say ladder can be dangerous. Instead say the electrical team will be spending most times on ladders. If even one ladder isn't tied off properly, the risk of fall is real. When you connect the talk to today's task, they instantly understand why it matters and are far more likely to apply it on the job. Work sites are diverse. People come from different countries, speak different languages, and have different literacy levels. If you use complex safety jargons, many might not fully understand you, and your message can get lost. So keep your language simple, clear, and humanized. Instead of saying ensure compliance with the respiratory protection standards, just say wear your mask so that dust doesn't damage your lungs. Simple words travel faster and sink deeper. Use gestures, short sentences, and demonstrations. And when needed, translate key safety terms into the languages your team speaks. The way you enter your toolbox talk is just as important as how you begin. Because the last thing you say is often the first thing they will remember. If we end with vague phrases like work safe or be careful, people forget it in seconds. Instead, close with one clear specific action that ties directly to the day's job. For example, before using a grinder today, check the guard and wear your goggles. When lifting boxes, bend your knees, not your back. Short, direct reminders stick in mind. Keep it to one key action because if you list too many points at once, people are less likely to remember them. You can end your talk with a micro assessment. This is a quick check at the end of your toolbox talk to see if workers understood the key message. For example, what's the first thing to check before climbing a ladder? Show a photograph and ask what's wrong in this picture. It takes just a few seconds, but it does three powerful things. It tells you if they understood the message. It reinforces the point through repetition. It keeps everyone mentally involved till the end. It only takes seconds, but it tells you if the message was understood and reinforces the key points. Even a great talk can miss the importance if no one remembers it. A micro assessment ensures they do. Now here is the bonus tip. And this one isn't just another way to start your toolbox talk. It is one of the most powerful ways to capture attention right from the start, which is to answer the question that's on everyone's mind. What is in it for me? Every worker listening to you is silently asking that question. At the very beginning of your toolbox talk, tell your team what they can expect to gain. People naturally pay attention when they see how the information protects them, makes their job easier, or helps them get home safely. For example, instead of starting with today's talk is about hand protection, you could say, if you pay attention to today's talk, you will learn how to avoid painful hand injuries that could stop you from earning. By showing them the benefits upfront, you instantly create interest and engagement. So remember, your toolbox talk doesn't start when you begin speaking. It starts when they care what you are talking. Let's quickly recap the 8 techniques to make toolbox talk people actually listen to. Start with a story or question. Keep it short. Use visuals or props. Involve the audience. Connect to daily tasks. Use simple language. End with one clear action. And add a micro assessment. Bonus tip is always answer what is in it for them. Toolbox talk are not just another routine meeting. They are opportunities to connect, engage, and keep your team safe. When done well, they are not a lecture but a conversation. And sometimes that conversation can prevent an accident. In your very next toolbox talk, don't just repeat the same routine. Pick one of these techniques, try it out, and notice the difference in how your team responds. Step by step, you will build confidence, improve delivery, and create talks that workers actually look forward to. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.